This is a short video of my 29-gallon display tank, Saltwater. Just like to go through real quick and show you what I have, how far I've come. This tank has been up for about 1 year, probably 1 year and a couple months. Starting out, it was a task fighting through green hair algae, cycling and everything, but right now it's doing pretty well. Like to go in, show you a quick view, a close-up view. Right now I have about, if I was to gauge it, maybe 25 pounds of live rock. This is all dry rock except for, gosh, I can't even remember which piece it is now. There was one piece that I bought from my local fish store to seed all of this rock, and I can't even remember which one it is. But it's just one small piece that I used to seed, and I just let it cycle on its own. I let all this live rock just breed on its own. If you notice, this big rock right here, it's a good 10 pounds, I believe, if I remember correctly. It was dry rock. It's white right now because I had a bunch of turbo snails that would completely clean all of this rock white. It would turn green, purple, whatever you want to call it, brown. And I had about 10 turbo snails, and they would just clean all of this rock. They would just suck it. I mean, they would just clean it off. Good choice of words, suck it. But right now, I gave away about 5 of my turbo snails. I can't find any more of the turbo snails. Don't know what happened to them. I think they died off, or the cleanup crew crabs I have took a liking to them. But once I go back, let's see. This is my pom-pom Xenia. It started off as a small frag with one head, and now, I don't know if you can tell, it's 3 heads on it now. It's doing pretty well. Various cleanup crews, snails. There's one right there. There's a tiger conch. He's doing pretty well. He stirs the sand up pretty well. I don't have anything else that stirs the sand up but him. And maybe a few of the crabs, which there's one riding on the back of a snail right now. I believe that's a margarita snail. He's cleaning him off. A few other snails. These little headache astrea stars. I didn't know about these astrea stars. I kept buying zoas and palos, and kept wondering why they kept disappearing. And through further research, these astrea stars take a liking to zoas and pallies, and they eat them. And I have hundreds of them. I mean, hundreds. So can't buy any more zoas and pallies. Anyway, back to a review. Here's a hammer coral. I've had him about 2 weeks. I didn't put him in direct flow. I heard they don't like direct flow. As you can see, he's flowing a little. He's doing well to the light condition. Put him on the sand bed so he wouldn't become a disturbance to anything else. I have the green star pallies, doing pretty well. I have one right there and one tucked away in this corner, which has the feather duster coming out the side of it, which is pretty cool. He's climbing up the wall. I think that's pretty cool. The only fish that I have right now are 2 clowns. I had some other livestock in here, and my water parameters wasn't good. Green hair algae started taking over, so I gave away a couple of them perished. But as far as right now, I have 2 little clowns, false proculas, doing pretty well. Let's go back to the, I have overflow, a 30-watt LED spotlight. I used to have a Ice Cap 660 T5 4 lamp up under here. The heat was causing too much. I didn't like it. I mean, I was having algae growing everywhere, all over the glass and everything. But since I turned to this LED spotlight, I barely ever have to worry about algae anymore. I don't have to clean the glasses often as I used to. I mean, it's a pretty neat light. As you can see, it's just real spotlight. So I may have to get 1 more or maybe 2 more. Maybe this is a 30 watt 14K spotlight. I may get 1 more to go on this side, 1 to go on this side with a blue spotlight where it's placed right now. That's the display tank. It's doing pretty well. Go down to the sump. I battled this sump. I didn't know how to tune it in correctly, but I finally got it right. Nice clump of Cheeto with some live rock rubble in the bottom. A filter sock that I change maybe once every 1 to 2 weeks. I change it out with another sock, clean this one, change it out. Nice little small heater. Don't have to worry about heat problems. And a Rio 1200 return pump. As you notice, I don't know if you can see, I got a couple snails inside of the sump as well to take care of a little unwanted algae. And there's a clump of Cheeto again with some more Astrea stars. There are literally literally 100 of copepods in here. You might can't see them now, but there's literally hundreds of copepods, and I like that. I use a little cheap little lamp with a basic light bulb for my algae growth, my Cheeto algae growth, and it does well. Keeps the heat down. And that's basically it. As far as people know, I'm skimmerless. I don't run a skimmer. I change my water maybe once every 2 weeks, maybe once a month, depending on my water parameters. And I use RODI water from one specific fish store, one specific live fish store in my area. I guess I can go ahead and give a shout out to them, Saltwater Paradise in Irving, Texas. I was using RODI water from other stores in the area in Dallas, Texas, and I would always have green algae or some type of problem. And since I switched over to Saltwater Paradise's RODI water, I have no problems with algae anymore. Maybe besides this very few spots of red slime algae, but it's under control right now. But you got to find you a reputable dealer, live fish store with RODI water that is clean. Some of them, I don't know if they just don't change their filters out or what, but everything's doing good. One more addition is my, I don't know if you can see it, this tuxedo urchin, and I'm a little worried about them. Even though I have some algae growing in the back and some coralline, which they like, I'm a little worried about them because I don't have too much algae anymore, and I may have to trade them off to someone. But for the most part, everything's going good. The year and a few months tank, I might be adding a few more fish, maybe 1 or 2. I don't want a lot of fish. I would love more coral, but for now, I'm happy with the way things are set up. Thanks for watching.